I started many years ago. I moved down from London, and Vibe at that time was quite huge. And when I was working for the youth service at that time, and I linked up with Mike, Si, Claire, and I remember going to the Memo for their first disco event or massive event, and there were loads and loads of young people going bonkers on pop and crisp and sweets, and it was a fantastic event. But my background's more issue-based and educational, so I wanted to use those events to bring in, to raise awareness. For example, they did a big World AIDS Day around sexual health, and use avenues like the Vibe to raise awareness around substance misuse, knife crime, things like that, and that was a good tool for us to get into. I think there was so much laughter, so much, and even when we used to work at Vibe in the events, when we were working till 12 o'clock at night clearing up, there was never a dull moment. Nobody moaned, nobody wanted to just get home. We just enjoyed the whole event, and I think all the staff and the young people made those events, and it was just constant laughter. That's all I remember. We used to get a couple of young people, naughty people, that would sometimes step out of line and try and mouth the staff, but then we had people like Tracy and Jason and Reese trying to be like doormen, trying to look big and heavy, and they'd sort the crowd out, and Fran. And so we had made up security guards as well to make it like a proper nightclub event. Yeah. It never was, but it just had that nice feeling, clubby feeling about it. I think it was the heart and soul of Barry. It sort of brought everybody together. I think you look at when there was a big event on Halloween, Christmas time, I think crime went down a lot. The police they knew there was a big Vibe event. It was just, I think everybody was there, and it was staffed well. The police always knew about it. There was never any trouble. So around Barry it was always quiet. I think it made me understand young people a lot, where they were coming from. It made me appreciate all the stuff that Vibe were doing, and we were constantly changing things to what young people wanted at the time. So when I think the Vibe events were dying down and they wanted more creative stuff, like films, and when Vibe started to expand and do more singing events, dancing, I think all the staff and all the people went along with them, and I think the best thing about Vibe was we were always checking out with young people what they wanted. Nobody ever asked young people what they wanted, so they were always part of Vibe, they were always part of the group with the staff. I think Vibe was Barry, and you can ask anybody when they're growing up, like, do you remember Vibe? And they'll all say yes, but Barry was, Vibe was such a big part of Barry, and it's just gone, and it's ripped the heart and soul out of Barry, and it's such a shame. Vibe did it so well because they were always consulting. You've always got other people and groups that come in for a bit, but they never do the consultations the way Vibe did it, and that gap will always stay. Without the knowledge that you had of Vibe and the staff and the young people that were also on the management committee, that was the beauty of it. They were the driving forces, but there's a huge gap now. I have no regrets of ever being part of Vibe. I loved every moment of it.